for your seatbelts anyway.
Okay, no recap yesterday. I took a much-needed day off, but I think it's safe to say that Gio Urshela regained the belt with his big home run in the 8th to give the Yankees the win. Also, a really nice job in relief by Nestor Cortez Jr., throwing 3 shutout innings. Happy Father's Day, motherfuckers. Here is the lineup that will try and take the series versus the A's. DJ LeMahieu leading off. He had another big hit yesterday. He is at second base. Aaron Judge back out there in center field. He got robbed of a base hit yesterday, but still picked up a couple of knocks. He is heating back up. Gary Sanchez in the 3-hole. He has been swinging the bat great lately. Giancarlo Stanton also picked up a big hit in yesterday's game, preparing himself to play the outfield if he can remember where it is. He is at the DH spot today. Gleyber Torres in there at shortstop. He is batting 5th. Gio Urshela had the big home run yesterday. He is in there at third base, batting 6th. Miguel Andujar back out there in left field. Hard-hitting Chris Gittens in there at first base. This may be his last chance with the Yankees. Luke Voigt is tearing it up in his rehab assignment. And Clint Frazier had a couple of big knocks yesterday. He is out there in right field, swinging the bat a little bit better, perhaps raising his standing with the Yankees and their fans, also perhaps raising his trade value. And on the mound, Jordan Montgomery. He is 3-1 with a 4.20 ERA, 69 strikeouts. Very nice. In 70 2/3 innings, 13 starts. His last time out against Toronto, he didn't pitch that great. 5 1/3 innings with 5 runs, 4 earned, 4 walks, 4 strikeouts. Need a better performance from him today. He's allowed at least 3 earned runs in 3 of his last 4 starts. And now a word from the president of Gumby Nation. A very special Father's Day to all of the fans out there. Always remember to ask not what Jordan Montgomery can do for you, but ask what you can do for Jordan Montgomery.
Grounded to first, grabbed by Gittens. He'll take it himself, steps on the bag, and Loaisiga does the job. That one's driven out into right center field and deep. On the run is Laureano. He can't get there. Here's your scores. Here comes Judge. Here's the throw. He'll score. Sanchez going to third. He'll be tagged out. No, he's safe.
This episode of NYY Recaps is brought to you in part by Manscaped. Summer's coming. Are you ready to unveil your beach bod? If so, you're in luck. Our friends at Manscaped just launched their 4th generation performance package, which includes the Lawnmower 4.0. You heard that right, the 4.0. Complement your dad bod or six-pack with a trim from the leaders in male grooming. The sun is shining and calling your name, fellas. Join the 2 million men worldwide who trust Manscaped and get ready for a hot guy summer by going to manscaped.com for 20% off and free shipping with the code NYY Recaps. The Performance Package 4.0 also includes the Weed Whacker to chop your worst weeds up top in your nose and ears. They make your wives and girlfriends want to puke.
Ew.
You'll also get 2 free gifts in the Performance Package 4.0. They're very comfortable boxers and the Shed travel bag. So bring your comfort and boxers to the next level with Manscaped. Your balls will thank you. Another triple play. Are you kidding me? Oh my God. Yesterday on Twitter, I posted that old Dave Chappelle meme of, I think his name was like Tyrone Biggums or something, where he's like, it was like a crack. Y'all got any more crack? But I posted, y'all got any more of them triple plays? I didn't expect that the Yankees would turn 3 triple plays by June 20th or whatever today. That was unbelievable. Unbelievable. And for as much as Aroldis Chapman sweats, which is more than any other human being on earth that I've ever seen, with the possible exception, somebody brought it up to me on Twitter, of Patrick Ewing in the 90s. By the way, we got a couple of donos. We got Board Rican Veteran with the dono. Winning games like this is big. Imagine Gallo Marte. I don't know if that's going to happen. Also, I saw Lori posted one, Lori C., a ways back, but I can't find it. That said, not going to win many games with however many hits. It was like 3 hits and 15 strikeouts. So Yankees did figure out a way to get it done. Please hold off on the super chats until I get done with my recap, and then we can chat about it. Day off tomorrow, and then I think Luke Voigt is back on Tuesday, so that's big news for the Yankees. Top of the first, Matt Olson hits a bomb to center field. That guy would have Bonds-level numbers if he played in Yankee Stadium. Every time he comes to Yankee Stadium, he just absolutely crushes the baseball. And I'm sure part of it's due to the Yankee pitching. I mean, they just don't know how to pitch this guy, but he would do amazing as a Yankee. I don't think it's going to happen. I don't think that A's would ever trade him, but if he's ever a free agent, he's somebody that the Yankees need to take a look at. We got another $5 super chat from Sawberry Belly. Appreciate that. Dono hype. The Yankees could do absolutely nothing with Sean Manaea today for most of the game. He was working that hard breaking ball and throwing strikes with his fastball. Yankees just were not picking it up. They weren't having good swings. They were late, and then he would throw that slider, and they would just swing right over it. He was handcuffing guys. Jordan Montgomery, though, aside from that early home run to Olsen, was really good himself. Went 5 1/3, 3 hits, 1 run, 2 walks, 6 strikeouts. Really good day for Jordan Montgomery. Sometimes you just run into a pitcher who's dealing, but he couldn't get the win today, but the Yankees ultimately were able to pull it out. Gary Sanchez with the 2-run double into right field to give the Yankees a 2-1 lead. And Gary also hit another double earlier in the game to right field. That's always a sign that he's, clicking with the bat, because he'll wait back on that pitch and drive it to right field. He just looks so much better with a smaller leg kick and staying balanced through the zone. He's a completely different hitter now than he was at the beginning of the year. I'm glad they didn't trade him. Although, honestly, if you did want to move him, right now is the time to do it. So don't be surprised. I don't think it'll happen because he's one of the only guys hitting right now. But double in the 6th actually knocked Sean Manaea out of the game. He was deadly. I think he had 11 strikeouts today. Loaizaga did another great job out of the bullpen. I saw a number of votes for the belt for Loaizaga, and look, he did a nice job, but if I had a vote, and I'm going to hold off my vote unless it's close, I would go with Gary. Jordan Montgomery also excellent. And then, of course, Lucas Licky did a great job out of the bullpen too. Really solid lefty, great breaking ball, and he doesn't seem to be fazed by the moment either. And Mike O'Kay had a good point. They didn't bring him in to save somebody else. They brought him in because they felt strongly about him. He's been elite as a relief pitcher in terms of spin rate and things like that this year. So I'm feeling really good about what Licky offers us. And then Chapman puts the first 2 guys on in the 9th. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. Gets an easy ground ball to third base, and Gio starts another triple play. I mean, that's the second time with Chapman on the mound. The Yankees were the first team, according to Yes, that had ever turned 2 triple plays in the same season, and now that's 3, and that's 2 within a week. That's 2 within 5 days or something like that. That's absolutely blew my mind. I've never seen anything like that before. All right, so get your final votes in for the belt. Right now, it's looking like Gary has got the most votes. Let's see here. I'm seeing a couple for Gio. I'm seeing a lot for the great Sanchino from Justin King. All right, I think we've seen enough. Urshela, you had a nice run. The Kraken. And the Kraken picks up the belt. And the Yankees take 2 out of 3, and that was not an easy team to take 2 out of 3 from. I don't want to jump over my skis a little bit, but I feel like the Yankees are maybe turning it around a little bit. You win 2 out of 3 against Minnesota. You sweep the Blue Jays, and now 2 out of 3 against Oakland. That's what? That's 5, 6, 7 out of 9? Is that right? That's pretty good. That's really not bad at all. And look, Minnesota's not a great team. I get Toronto's below you in the standings, but the A's were a good team, and we saw some good pitching in this series. Some really good pitching. The Yankees pitched to match their guys, and obviously great defense, triple plays, I thought Judge did a really, really nice job in center field today. I think that Miguel Andujar looks fine out there in left field. Gleyber Torres, even though he's not really hitting, he looks great at shortstop right now. Great at shortstop. So, Giant Opinion Sports says, After the last 2 years, I'd never give Gary a belt. Look, it's all based on that day's game. So, Justice Cubing says, felt like a playoff game. 100% agree.
Yes, I agree.
However, I will say this. The stadium was quiet. The stadium was not as loud as I'd expected. And you figured with opening at 100% capacity, you would see 35,000 at least in the stadium. But 24,000 yesterday. I didn't see the official attendance today. I'm going to pull it up real quick for you guys and just let you know, because this has got to be something that Hal Steinbrenner is looking at, because he's a very bottom line kind of guy. So attendance 27,807, so well below capacity. Capacity is somewhere around 42, 45,000, something like that. But if you see in the 20s, that's not a full house for the Yankees. Let's see. Andre Saddam says, make Loizaga start a game. Loizaga wouldn't hold up as a starter. Loizaga's perfect in the role he's in, where he's pitching in relief. He's been absolutely deadly out of the bullpen. Don't fix it if it's not broke. The bullpen is one of those things that's working great right now. Just keep it up. Chapman, even though he got out of this, I'm not feeling great about Aroldis Chapman right now. His ERA is now down to 1.98, so he's under 2 again. But he's made us sweat a little bit the last couple of times out. Lori C says it sounded like a library. Well, most of my libraries aren't quite that loud, but I get it. I mean, metaphorically speaking, it was very quiet. And the Yankees got to start winning and keep winning. I believe they've already started winning, but they've got to keep it rolling. And let's just talk a little bit about the team today. They only had 3 hits. Gary Sanchez was 2 for 3 with 2 doubles, and DJ LeMahieu was 1 for 4. Judge was 0 for 3 with 3 strikeouts. Stanton was 0 for 3 with 2 strikeouts. Torres 0 for 3, 2 strikeouts. He's down to 252. And then Andujar 0 for 3. Gittins 0 for 3 with 2 strikeouts. He's probably going down to the minors. He's batting .095. And then Clint Frazier 0 for 2. He's batting .193 after a good day yesterday. So today it was the pitching that got it done. The Yankees only allowed 4 hits, only allowed 1 run, did walk too many guys, five guys, but the Yankees struck out 15 times today and only had 3 hits. That's not going to get it done most of the time. Not going to get it done. Henry Chiansky says, what happened to that new pitch Chapman came up with? So he was throwing a splitter earlier this year, and he's not throwing it as much. That's something that I asked myself. I think that he only throws the splitter when his command is pretty good with everything else, because I don't think he trusts it as much. If you've ever thrown a splitter, and I'm just going to pull up a baseball. This is an official Major League Baseball. If you've ever thrown the splitter, it's really difficult to command, because you really split the ball with your fingers. And, it's just tough to command. You have to just kind of trust that it's going to do what you think it's going to do, what it did in the bullpen. And if you're not ahead in the count, you really can't throw a pitch that you don't trust. That's a swing and miss pitch, because otherwise you just fall further behind in the count. So I think the product of him falling behind in the count more is why he's not throwing the splitter quite as much. I do think that we're going to see Luke Voit here pretty soon. He's been tearing it up in his rehab assignment. The Yankees have an off day tomorrow, so he could presumably make his way up and still have a day off. The Yankees could use a day off. They've had a lot of travel lately. They have had a number of off days, but after a couple of tough series that were hard fought, it's got to feel good to have a day off where you're staying in your own city, sleeping in your own bed. Let's take a quick look at the Yankees' schedule. On Tuesday, they are playing the Kansas City Royals, Pat's favorite team, and Garrett Cole is on the mound, to be determined for the Royals. The Royals are 31-38, so this might be a chance for the Yankees to continue that streak a little bit. And then you got Mike King on Wednesday night, and then Jameson Tyone on Thursday night. Honestly, I'm gonna level with you guys. I try not to bring the fury too much on guys who are coming back from injuries, but I've seen enough of Jameson Tyone. I just don't think his stuff is where it needs to be as a starting pitcher. The Yankees should definitely look at picking up a starter if they have an opportunity. All right, guys, I'm going to go to a quick conversation with Frankie of Frankie Baseball. The sound is not amazing. We had some issues with connections. By the way, $2 dono before we go. Will Frazier get traded even if we don't get much? It's a good question. I think Clint Frazier is definitely a candidate to get traded because I think the Yankees need more left-handed hitting. And I don't think that they're going to get very much for him because at this point he's had a large enough sample size. They might be able to deal him based on his hard hit percentage, things like that, his ability to take pitches. Some team might need a right-handed bat. But let's see. Mike Rotonda says, I heard you had a rag arm. They called you Skittles because your throws were rainbows. No, I had a pretty good arm for a long time. I tore my labrum in 2007, and I've never quite been the same. But anyway, I'm going to go to that conversation with Frankie Baseball. I will see you guys probably tomorrow. I'm probably going to do an episode of the Frieze where I do just kind of talking over the highlights a little bit. And then I'm interviewing Big Baby David tomorrow night from John Boy Media. And so that'll be on for Yankees Game Day on Tuesday. I'm going to do a Tuesday preview of the Royals series. So stick around for that. Here comes the conversation.
I feel like, you ever seen Goodfellas?
Oh, yeah.
I feel like I'm becoming a made man. I just hope this doesn't end with me getting shot in the head. It's fun. It's a lot of work. There are times where it's just like, how many different ways can you say that the Yankees are bad? Or like, how many different ways can you say, oh, Aaron Boone did a really bad job? Or man, the Yankees are they're really sticking to these analytics, and they really should. It's difficult sometimes to figure out a different way to say sometimes the same thing, but overall, it's fun. I've met so many great people, gotten a lot of great support from it, and it's been very, very enjoyable.
What's your opinion on Boone?
Man, how long do we have? It's so. I've had so many different phases with Boone. I mean, when they first hired him, I didn't want them to fire Girardi. And then they had a couple 100-win seasons, and I'm like, oh yeah, this might work out. But it's so, you never know. Are you going to get the boring? We're close. We're going to figure it out. We just got to figure this out. After, like, when you point out, like, after a 4 game losing streak, when he says, "Hey, we're close," I'm just like, dude, we're not close to anything. So it's that kind of stuff. I did like yesterday, recording this on Sunday, when yesterday when he was when the Yankees were winning and he got thrown out. Like, that's the kind of energy I love to see from Boone.
All-Star Game or Home Run Derby? Which one would you rather watch?
Well, this year definitely the Home Run Derby.
Yeah,
this year,
I agree.
It's going to be in Colorado. Oh my gosh, it is going to be just so much fun. I do enjoy the All-Star Game still, but this year definitely the Home Run Derby. I think that's going to be just a fantastic show down in Colorado.
Yeah, the last time it was in Colorado, I think it was 1998, and I remember rushing home from a practice or whatever to watch that game, or to watch the Home Run Derby, and Mark McGwire was in that one.
Oh man,
he actually didn't have a great, like, you expected, like, 2 or 3 550-foot home runs, and I think he had like 3 home runs. I don't think he made it out of the first round.
Was Sosa in that Home Run Derby?
I don't know if Sosa was in it. You got to remember, back in '98, Sosa, he had like a really hot June, but he wasn't really thought of as like a home run guy until that June, like a month before the All-Star game. He hit 20 home runs in June. He probably made the All-Star team, but I don't think anybody thought he was going to hit 60 home runs ever.
So if he'd done that in like April or May, then he probably would have gotten an invite.
That year was fun. It was like Ken Griffey Jr. He used to always get in the home run derby, and his swing was just so perfect because it was effortless. He was just kind of like an effortless stroke, and he had that natural like 40-degree launch angle and massive bat speed. So he was unstoppable in home run derbies. I always wanted to see Darryl Strawberry do a home run derby. That would have been awesome.
That would have been amazing. That would have been really, really cool. I mean, I remember my favorite home run derby memory is, of course, 08. Watching Josh Hamilton, hit, what was it, 28 home runs in that first round. And I thought maybe this is finally going to be, we're going to see someone hit a ball out of Yankee Stadium. And it didn't happen. He came close. That was incredible. And he didn't win that home run derby, which is crazy to think about.
That's funny. Yeah. A lot of people think he won, but he actually came in second. Who was it that one? Was it Morneau?
I think it was Justin Morneau.
Yeah. He also beat Jeter in an MVP vote, like out of nowhere, Yeah. Crazy.
Yeah, that was the closest Jeter ever got to MVP.
I wish we could have gotten to see Ichiro in a home run derby, because everybody always said that Ichiro was unstoppable in home run derbies, and you would see him in batting practice. I don't know if you ever got to watch Ichiro take BP. He was with the Yankees for a little bit, and he would just rope like 10 or 12 in a row right into the right field seats to end his rounds.
It's good to get the big names in there. I mean, I'm glad that we're getting Ohtani in this year's home run derby. He's one of the most fun players we've got right now in baseball. So yeah, get the big superstars in there. It's kind of like when like you hate when the dunk contest is like guys who aren't even on in the All-Star game. You're just like,
yeah.
Why am I watching this? Get those big time stars in the home run derby. Which,
how do you feel about Judge sitting it out
this year? I mean, we think about what happened in 2017. You know, he has that great home run derby, and then he had that terrible second half of the season, which I think was the reason why Altuve got the MVP over him. If I remember correctly, Judge had a terrible second half, and Altuve was more consistent, so they gave it to Altuve. So I kind of, and he's got the one. He doesn't need another. I mean, if he was out there, I'd love it. But I totally understand him being like, nah, I'm good.
I get it too, but here's the thing. It pays $1 million to the winner, right? I mean, it's kind of, he knows he could win. Like, who out there is going to beat Aaron Judge at a home run derby? The guy hits opposite field pop-ups that go 450 feet.
I'm trying to think. I mean, maybe like one of his own teammates, maybe Stanton.
I don't think Stanton's going to do it because he's had enough trouble staying healthy anyway.
Yeah.
It's like, don't do any, like if he did the home run derby and won $1 million and then pulled an oblique muscle the day, like in the first game back, he would never play in New York again. He would never play. If you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe. It helps other Yankees fans find the channel. If you really enjoyed it, check out the swag section. We've got tons of great designs to support all your favorite Yankees. And if you simply cannot get enough Yankees content, check out the podcast version of this channel, The Frieze by NYY Recaps, available wherever you get your podcasts. I'm Derek. Thanks for watching.